audio look? What that error was. Working. Happening, y'all. Like and subscribe it real channel out. Diving back into Lone Echo. Oculus mic, so may not be able. Hard to respond to chat. Crashed. There we go.
The generator facility is not accessible from within the station. You need to approach from the exterior. Search the outer hull for a way inside.
With a few improvements, you should have no trouble at all.
Oh, I'm not ready.
Exactly what sort of improvements do you have in mind?
Nothing drastic. Just an entirely new shell.
I'm sorry.
Well, you can't go venturing out to the generator in that old relic. No offense intended, of course.
Of course.
Is this really necessary?
Transferring Jack to a newer shell will allow him to more easily interface with the station's various systems, as well as drastically improve his ability to maneuver in open space. Not to mention...
All right. Fine. So long as there's not too much of a strain on our power reserves.
This way, Jack. I have already identified a shell design I believe you'll find satisfactory. It was originally meant for rapid emergency response. The base design includes enhanced speed and durability, as well as a data link compatible with the station's architecture.
Oh. Go. Hello.
Coming, Jack? Your new shell is nearly finished fabricating in the cargo bay. I've already uploaded the shell's blueprints. It'll only take a moment to complete fabrication.
This looks familiar.
I've already adjusted the shell's underlying design to account for the particulars of Jack's neural matrix. All you'll need to do is shut yourself down, so I can transfer your processes to the new shell.
Oh, that's all, is it?
Don't worry, Captain. The transfer will be seamless. Construction complete. The new shell is prepped for transfer.
It looks like him.
Yes, I incorporated Jack's existing facial structure into the shell's design. I thought it might help distinguish him.
He is quite distinguished.
Jack, you're clear to initiate the shutdown procedure whenever you're ready. Shields at 95%.
Initialize neural matrix transfer. Verify hardware connection. Okay.
Mapping core protocols to target. Success. Initialize boot sequence.
Jack? Jack, look at me. You alright?
I'm sorry. Who is Jack?
Do you know what
Liv.
the...
I'm fine. I was only joking.
Oh, God, you had me worried.
The transfer worked just as Juno said. It was funny though, right?
Hilarious. Well, Jack, I'll say this. You certainly clean up nice.
Thank you. I must admit this shell's architecture is much more spacious than my previous one.
Just don't go forgetting where you came from.
Now that the transfer is complete, I'd suggest running calibrations to acclimate your software to the new shell.
That's actually not a terrible idea.
Then it's settled. I'll queue up the appropriate modules.
Sit tight, Jack. We'll have you sorted quick enough.
Module M201. Primary boosters. Your EVA pack allows you to boost forward in the direction you are looking. Use your boost to reach the console ahead.
That's no different than before. Oh shit.
Well done. Please press the hollow button to continue. Now boost to the end of the hull before the walls close in on you. Multiple boosts may be required.
Damn.
Excellent. Calibration module complete. Module M116. Braking thrusters. This module will calibrate your braking thrusters, which allow you to stop in place without grabbing any surfaces. You will continue to slow down for as long as you hold your braking thrusters. We'll practice this in the room ahead. Please meet me there to continue. There are 2 target zones in this room. Please boost into one of the zones and hold your braking thrusters until you come to a full stop. Success! Now, use your braking thrusters to stop inside target zone A. Calibration module complete. Please stand by. Module J101. Data interfaces. Your new body is capable of equipping multiple tools. In addition to your cutter, you now also have a data link. With it, you can interact with data ports around the station to activate objects or download information. Tap the button under your wrist to open the tool selection interface. Now, grab and pull the data link icon with your other hand. Good. This tool allows you to interact with data ports throughout the station. You can also activate your cutter on your other hand if you need to use both tools simultaneously. To proceed, move to the data port above the door ahead and use your data link to activate it. Well done. Please proceed to the room ahead. Some data ports will activate systems throughout the station. Others will allow you to retrieve useful information from the station systems. In this room, you can find a floating data tile and an observation drone. Scan their data ports to proceed. Excellent. Now, download the data from the data tile to proceed. Calibration module complete. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the real world, Jack.
Before you go, I'd like to make use of your new data link. Captain Rhodes?
Right.
What is this?
A data tile, left behind by one of the station's scientists. I'd like to see if your scanner can access the information stored inside.
All right, well, you heard the lady.
Go on and give it a scan. Ah, interesting.
What was on it?
Research notes on the biomass.
Anything useful?
A list of genetic markers shared between the different biomass forms. That could prove most useful. Jack, if you find any more devices with data ports like this one, be sure to scan them and transmit your findings to me.
Will do.
I've also added a new data tab to your ARM computer to track what we've recovered.
How much data was lost?
We don't actually have any way of knowing, but finding more will almost undoubtedly be beneficial towards developing a cure, even if only in a small way.
Understood.
Anything else, Juno?
That should be all for now.
Come on out then, Jack.
Juno, do you read?
Yes, Doctor?
I need you back here to help me pass the FTL's output data. And bring Captain Rhodes with you. I could use her insight as well.
We've nearly finished prepping Jack for departure.
He's still here? I could have built an entirely new generator by now. Get him out of the airlock and then get up here.
You weren't exaggerating. This Dr. Harlan is quite irritable.
Try not to be too hard on him. He has good reason.
It sounds like there's something I should know.
Juno? Tell him.
Tell me what?
Dr. Harlan is infected.
Infected with what?
With the biomass, of course.
I don't understand. He seemed perfectly normal.
His infection is internal, a result of breathing in microparticles of the biomass. Though we have managed to slow the infection's progress using various treatments developed here at the facility, I fear the doctor may be approaching the final stages of his infection.
What happens if he doesn't develop a cure in time?
I'm guessing that very question is what's making him so irritable.
I hope this might help you better understand why Dr. Harlan is the way he is. His entire life, he's only ever had one goal: eliminate the biomass, preserve what's left of humanity. Thanks to you, for the first time in, well, quite a while, we appear to be making progress.
Whatever I can do to help.
You can start by restoring the generator.
Lead on.
Cycling the airlock now. Ready to depart. Hard seal. Ready to cycle.
Wait a second, Juno. Jack, listen. There's something else.
Captain Rhodes, maybe now isn't the best time.
I'm not about to send him out there with only half the story.
Liv, what is it?
You remember on the Estrella, when you saved my life by repressurizing the bridge?
Liv, what are you saying?
The oxygen that flooded into the bridge was contaminated. Dr. Harlan's already run a test to confirm. The infection's in my system.
No.
Jack, listen to me. The contaminants were microscopic. There was no way you could have known.
No, I cleared the vents.
Yes, you did. And if you hadn't, I'd have been dead almost instantly.
This is my fault. I should have confirmed the air was safe.
No, checking for contaminants would have taken too long. I'd have suffocated.
Currently, the captain's infection is dormant. It takes time, often years, for the biomass to shut down the human body. What's more, her particular strain of the infection is less aggressive than Dr. Harlan's, perhaps due to her having acquired it in the past.
The best thing we can do right now, the only thing, is help Dr. Harlan develop his cure. We do that, all our problems are solved.
Technically not all of them. You'll still be stuck in the wrong time.
Yes. Thank you, Juno. Get to the generator. Stabilize the power grid. Hopefully, by then, we'll have come up with an idea for what's next.
Whatever you need me to do, I'll take care of it.
I know you will. Now off you go. Good luck.
Commencing depressurization. Depressurization complete.
Exiting airlock. How do I reach the generator?
The generator facility should be just up ahead as you exit.
Copy that.
I'll mark the destination for you.
Juno, pull the FTL's output log, starting a few minutes back from the accident.
What are you looking for?
If your android is right and the FTL accident really did create a temporal anomaly, then we should see clear evidence of the event in the output data. FTL drives don't normally rip open tunnels through time.
Not according to our experience.
Guess we're just lucky.
Maybe not. Juno, show us readings from the moment the ticks made contact with the drive. This resonance. The FTL shouldn't be creating a displacement with this signature and nowhere near this magnitude.
Then it's the biomass. Has to be. It's causing some sort of reaction in the drive.
We'll need to run some simulations.
Let's get to it then. Jack, we'll be on standby.
Acknowledged. This equipment is some form of dock or buoy?
Affirmative. It's one of the station's charging docks. They're set up to facilitate recharging and navigation for the various drones deployed here. Though it is worth noting that the doctor and I have redeployed several pieces of equipment as well. Fortunately, once you complete repairs to the generator, we should be able to use the data ports on any of the equipment to restore its functionality.
Copy that. Juno, this appears to be some sort of communication antenna.
A signal relay, to be exact. It's a key part of Chiron Station's intranet, as well as the external comms array. There are many more of them located throughout the station. Though, without the generator operational, we won't be able to bring them online.
Precisely. Now stay focused.
Of course, Doctor. Jack, we can discuss these relays further once you've repaired the generator.
Copy that.
Well, ain't no going in there. I'm gonna explore. Fucking biomass.
Some of the cargo here has become loose.
An unintended consequence of the Astraea's sudden arrival. Their contents are not hazardous, so we should be safe.
So, what do they contain?
Give me a moment to see if I can find a proper manifest.
Would it not be more expeditious to simply cut the container open?
That is not advisable. Depending on its contents, the container may be pressurized.
Where
We've
drone go?
run into that sort of situation before. Actually, I wonder what happened to that container. It shot off toward the anomaly. Maybe it made it through.
I suppose that is possible. Ah, I've found the manifest. The containers are carrying cleaning products, replacement air filters, construction materials, synthetic starches, protein gel, and a single apple.
Just one apple?
Yes, it's now long expired, but it would have been worth more than the rest of the contents combined.
Wow. I mean, whole fruit was hard to get out on the Kronos, but it wasn't worth that much. Though, I guess, given the circumstances, it makes sense. Probably not many orchards around now, huh?
None, in fact.
Sorry.
Jack, your best option for entering the facility would be locating an access hatch on the exterior. Try looking for a small hatch with a red cover.
Acknowledged. I'll see what I can find.
But
I've located the entrance.
Unfortunately, it seems the airlock is offline, most likely due to the power failure. An alternate access method will be required.
Does that mean there's another way in?
Station blueprints show an access hatch on the facility's exterior. Look for a small rectangular hatch with a red cover.
Copy that. I'll take a look outside.
I seen something glowing on that. Don't know why.
Earth still appears blue from this distance. The blight of the biomass is nowhere in evidence.
You think we'll ever be able to go back? Not just me, but humanity.
Earth's biosphere has endured multiple extinction-level events, even before the onset of humanity. The odds of it weathering this latest cataclysm are more than favorable.
Yeah. She'll be alright.
Is Habitat B reachable?
I'm afraid not. It's completely severed from the rest of the facility and beyond the signal range of the systems that currently allow you to reboot.
Oh, yeah, definitely not worth that risk. We can just let this one rest in peace.
Juno, what is the state of Titan?
How do you mean? The weather?
No, Juno, he's asking if anyone's still living there. Our old supervisor was stationed on that moon.
Given the passage of time, I am certain that your boss has long since expired.
Yes, obviously. We know how aging works. But is there still a colony? Has it been fully
Back here.
terraformed? My father helped start that process.
Bastard.
After the Atlas Corporation dissolved in 22.
The answer is no, Captain. No colony, no terraforming. The biomass saw to that.
Right.
Motherfucker. Bruh. Bro.
Jack, the hatch you're looking for will be red in color. It's meant for maintenance work, so it'll be fairly small. There's a fair bit of data here. It should prove useful in our efforts to develop a cure. Good find, Jack.
Yep.
You'll find the hatch at an elevation similar to the entrance, Jack. I advise starting there and making your way around the exterior of the structure.
Access hatch located. Looks like I'll have to cut my way in.
With the generator's interior in a vacuum state, it should be safe to use your cutter here. Explosive decompression will not be an issue.
Copy that. I'm inside the facility. What's next?
The main problem is almost certainly the reactor. It's a large cylindrical structure in the facility's central chamber. The accessway will take you there, though additional cutting may be required. But please, try to avoid damaging our former workplace too heavily.
Juno.
Wait, you two used to work here?
Juno and I were part of the station's biomass research team.
So you were here during the outbreak?
No, I had taken leave to pursue my theory for eliminating the biomass. By the time I returned, it was too late. There was no one left.
My God, Harlan.
Captain, please. We have work to do.
Reactor located.
Great. How's it look?
Not well. I'm seeing smoke, likely from an internal malfunction.
That explains the power outage.
And the life support failure.
Right, better open it up, Jack. See what's going on in there.
I'm opening the casing for a closer look at the reactor.
Copy that.
Malfunction confirmed. A bad reactor core.
You'll need replacements to get the reactor running again, Jack. The facility contains a storage area that might be worth investigating.
Thanks, Juno. The reactor has quite the unique shape, an icosahedron. For optimal power flow, I assume.
Correct. The reactor's quasi-regular orthogonality allows for nearly flawless energy management.
Good enough state to work, though, right?
Yes, the malfunction appears to be temporary. Install a complete set of operational cores, and the reactor should resume normal functionality.
Okay. Well, sounds like you two have got things handled.
Copy that. This data tile appears to still be intact.
Despite their small size, data tiles make for excellent external storage. I advise scanning it so that we can retrieve its contents. Scan successful. Interesting. Shortly before the outbreak, the engineers developed a means of optimizing the power flow of the reactor. Jack, if you can find more data on this, I may be able to adapt these principles to your integrated cutter.
How much more data?
Uncertain. Without possessing the actual data, it's impossible to measure its size. Nonetheless, I've made an entry in the data tab on your ARM computer. I anticipate only a few more scans will be required, though.
Acknowledged. I'll keep watch for more data ports. Some type of local data storage?
Correct. Insert enough of them into a database terminal, and the terminal's data port will become available to scan.
This database terminal runs off of cartridges. Unusual.
Backup data storage, in case of power loss. For it to function properly, all the cartridges must be installed.
Well, I always blow on them first for luck. But each to their own.
I'm afraid Jack's shell isn't equipped with an apparatus appropriate for that operation.
Send popcorn. I believe his integrated RCS thrusters would prove effective.
I was just joking. And so were you. Yeah, well played.
Thank you.
Nice work, Jack. Much of the data here will prove useful in augmenting your cutter. Unfortunately, we will need more to complete the design. But I did find something that might be of interest. A voice memo from the station's chief engineer regarding the technology. I've added it to your ARM computer's data tab, Jack.
Hey everyone, I wanted to send a quick update to just our team before the news goes wide. We did it. As of about 6 minutes ago, we flipped the switch on the new reaction management system. We're seeing a stable 72% increase in outflow with a peak at almost 90%. For those keeping score, that's 12% above projections. Hell of a job, everyone. This will save lives.
Fast.
This drone's power appears to be depleted.
There should be an induction charger nearby. Simply insert the drone to replenish its power. Once it finishes charging, we should be able to access its data port. Good news, Jack. With the data you just collected, I expect we need only one more scan to complete the design.
Juno, I need you to run the math on these sim parameters.
Yes, Doctor.
Dr. Harlan, why did you have to leave the station? There seems to be plenty of biomass.
That is all highly evolved. I need the base genetic material, and that can only be found in an undetonated biomass torpedo. There's nothing more I can do from here.
This is it.
Right, then what brought you back? Did you know the station had...
I'm sorry, Captain Rhodes, but we do not have time for me to recount my entire life story. I was here. I lived. And when I came back, everyone was dead or gone.
All right, fine.
Why don't I simply compile an archive of the logs covering our time away from the station? That way the captain can review them at her leisure.
If you must, but after you've finished verifying the sim parameters.
Very well. I will let you know when I've finished, Captain.
Thanks, Juno.
I noticed these when we first arrived in this timeline. Some kind of massive processing structure. It's capturing Saturn's atmosphere.
Correct. They're known as autonomous atmospheric harvesters. They process hydrogen and helium from Saturn, inject it into containers, and then jettison those containers outward for retrieval. The minimal contact reduces the risk of biomass infection.
It's like the Kronos 5000 or something.
Sorry?
I mean, it might be what our job would have turned into. It's a bit more impressive than extracting helium from ice cubes like we did, but it's basically where our work was headed.
A rather prominent location for a manual interface.
Those are the distribution controls, Jack. They'll eventually direct power to every facility in Chiron Station. The reactor will need to be activated before this console will work.
Acknowledged. A fully charged core. Hopefully, still able to make clean contact with the reactor. Empty racks here. Were they running low on supplies?
Negative. However, among the facility's final logs are inventory requests of unusually high quantities. I presume anyone who managed to escape the station must have brought the supplies with them.
Let's hope such was the case. Must have been a horrid scramble.
I found a device in the storage area.
A network terminal. It may still be connected. Scan its port with your data link to attempt a data transfer. Excellent. That did indeed provide sufficient data. Just give me a moment to process everything. Stand by. Schematic complete. Please head to the nearest fabricator so we can install the improvement to your cutter.
Fucking locked.
Now simply rotate the core clockwise until it stops turning.
The core is locked in.
Excellent. Integration successful. Your shell's reactive cutter has been refitted with extended range and efficiency.
Well done, Juno.
The pleasure was mine. And please, restrict cutting to non-critical equipment.
Wasn't there a... There we go.
I'll probably have to cut my way through from the other side. Away into the storage area. Perhaps my new cutter can reach those bolts. I've managed to open the hatch leading to the storage area.
Splendid. The area should now be accessible through the maintenance duct below. Captain, I've finished compiling the log data you requested.
Great, can you pass it to my ARM computer, Juno? Actually, best send it to Jack as well.
Of course. Jack, I've added it to your data tab.
Wow, this is some archive.
It was an illuminating expedition. I took the liberty of segmenting the log entries. Feel free to review them at your own pace.
If you two have finished, I've input the parameters for the next sim.
Of course, Doctor.
Second core installed.
Acknowledged. Please visit one of the nearby consoles to bring the reactor back online.
The reactor is back online.
The power hasn't returned here on the ship yet.
Jack, power still needs to be distributed from here to the ship, as well as the rest of the station. The console you saw in the control room should now allow you to perform this final step.
Distribution console primed and ready to deliver power to the station.
Roger that. Let her rip, Jack.
Distribution complete. Power grid stabilized. Life support systems optimal.
Well done, Jack. We're getting full power here.
How is progress on your end?
Dr. Harlan's still running sims, but I think we at least have a working theory.
All the models we've run so far appear to confirm biomass interaction with an active FTL triggers an abnormal buildup of energy within the drive, resulting in the formation of a temporal anomaly.
For reasons we still don't fully understand.
It is also unclear why the accident only caused the android's software to travel through time, as opposed to the more physical time jumps we've observed with the Astrea. But at this point, I'm willing to accept these ambiguities and proceed.
Wait, what exactly are you saying?
We must try it again.
What? Send Jack back in time again? You've got to be kidding me.
It's the only way. Any chance we have of eliminating the biomass lies with finding an undetonated torpedo. We must send the android back.
You talk like he's expendable.
Now, of course he is. All of us are. You've seen how it spreads. Eradicating the biomass is going to take everything we have, and then some.
Yeah, well, it's not just up to you, is it? Jack, what do you think?
Dangerous or not, the potential lives saved makes it worth trying.
That's an awfully big risk.
You would do the same were the roles reversed.
And you would probably try to talk me out of it too.
Would I succeed?
Alright. Fine. I'm in. What do we need to do next?
We're going to have to recreate the circumstances of the time travel accident.
Oh, don't tell me.
We're going to need biomass. Contained biomass samples specifically. The research facility should serve our purposes nicely.
There is one other problem. The FTL accident depleted the drive's fuel cells, and we don't have the supplies to refill them.
Then our best bet for a fuel cell will be the remnants of the Astrea. However, exploring that area may be difficult. Pesky shipboard defense protocols somehow remain active. Something off with the AI, Juno says.
Could be just as dangerous as dealing with the biomass, really. Well, Jack, what's up first? Grab some creepy crawlies from the research facility? Or dig up a fuel cell for the FTL drive?
I can see now that Chiron Station is quite expansive. I'd prefer to take a moment to get my bearings before getting started.
Good idea, Jack. Get a feel for what we're getting into.
Incidentally, there is likely a significant amount of data we can recover throughout the various facilities.
I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Juno.
So when Jack eventually returns with these volatile materials, where exactly do we plan to store them?
I believe I can convert elements
Hey,
of the
everyone.
refueling depot to suit our needs.
Need a hand?
Why, yes, Captain. Your assistance would be most appreciated.
Anything's better than just sitting here. Come on, Popcorn. Let's get ready to head out.
Good luck out there. See you soon.
Seizing faster than light travel in 3, 2, 1. FTL jump complete. We're approximately 450,000 kilometers from Earth.
Perfect. Bring us in slow and begin long-range scans.
Of course, Doctor. For the scan criteria, shall I use the same parameters as those when we examined the Kronos remnants? Or perhaps from the wreckage of the unknown vessel?
Both. And factor in the fleet's travel time. Kronos incident. Plus 4 months.
I already have. Beginning sweep.
And now, we wait. There has to be at least one torpedo left. Somewhere in that mess.
Analysis complete.
And
Negative. Shall I broaden our search criteria?
no. Anything beyond these parameters would be too far removed from the base genetic material. Let's see. Most of the fleet fell to the surface. The Ithaca was of sufficient mass that perhaps it might...
Doctor, I cannot permit such an action. The biomass particulate levels in the atmosphere are extreme. Even if we were to safely make planetfall, we would not...
I know, Juno. Damn it. 14 months of searching.
Dr. Harlan, if I may...
Yes, I know. There's nothing to be gained here. Or anywhere. Set a course back to the station. Perhaps...
Dr. Harlan, I merely wish to remind you that both the Kronos and the Ithaca had something in common.
They were both overrun by biomass. I am aware.
Yes, but both were property of the Atlas Corporation as well.
I fail to see the relevance, Juno. Atlas has long been defunct.
Indeed. However, while the company itself is no longer in operation, remnants of its headquarters persist here on Luna.
Luna?
Yes. Given the corporation's broad interests, I think it is highly likely that they retained relevant information.
Or even hardware. They developed FTL technology by pilfering it from that unknown vessel, didn't they?
That is what the logs on Titan indicated, yes. I suppose it is possible that they might have salvaged one of the biotorpedoes as well.
If they manage to obtain one that have not detonated yet, with an intact incubator.
Then they might have already sequenced the base genetic material.
Exactly. It's a lot to hope for, but you're right, Juno. We should investigate Luna. Set a course.
I already have. Prepare for acceleration in 3, 2, 1. dock restored to operational status. You may recharge your shield as needed. Oh, interesting. I believe I may have found a secondary use for restoring these docks, recovering their local data, specifically because the docks normally maintain a coordination and optimization network. They contain shared data from across the station. Prior to the generator going offline, the units in irradiated areas were sharing optimizations that I believe could still be used to improve your multispectral shielding, Jack.
Scanning further docks should provide the necessary data?
Yes, I believe so. I've added a tracker to your data tab.
Juno, now that the generator is operational, shall we resume our discussion of the signal relays?
Of course, Jack. As I said earlier, the station features a multitude of these relays. If we reactivate them, we should be able to recover any data they might have stored.
And what is it you hope to find, Juno?
It's likely that a large amount of research data is stored in their buffers. Data that should prove useful in developing a cure for the biomass.
Well, cheers to that.
How shall I proceed?
Well, there are several clusters of relays throughout the station. One cluster per major facility. The issue is that the relays within each cluster are no longer linked. Thus, manual relinking is required.
How is that achieved?
For a given cluster, you'll need to pull the activation switch on each of its constituent relays. However, that will trigger a timeout countdown. Once a relay is activated, you'll have only 25 seconds to activate another. Fortunately, doing so will renew the countdown.
25 seconds to activate each signal relay. Understood.
Juno, this is incredible. Coming here was an excellent idea.
Dr. Harlan, I must again insist that you return to the ship. Conditions here are not conducive to...
No, listen to this. The ship that destroyed the Kronos II was called the Astrea. It was an Atlas vessel from the future. Do you have any idea what this means? The implications are staggering.
Doctor, please. Now that you have established an uplink, I am quite capable of extracting these archives. I would much rather you peruse them from the safety of the Argos.
Yes, just another minute, Juno. Look here. They learned all this from a partially functional adjutant they found aboard the ship.
Partially functional does not suggest a high degree of credibility.
They ran metrics. Anyway, it seems once they linked it to a diagnostic terminal, it made rapid progress through the firewalls and exhaustively poured over the data stores.
How polite.
At which point it concluded that because the vessel, the Astrea, had been displaced in time, the activation of its auxiliary drive bay had partially reversed that displacement.
I am unsure what that means, Doctor.
Yes. It seems that several hours after the vessel arrived here, there was an enormous burst of energy. And then half the ship disappeared instantaneously, just as suddenly as it had arrived. And this adjutant concluded that disappearance corresponded with activating the auxiliary drive bay, thereby sending half the vessel back to its original space-time coordinates. Saturn orbit in 2537. Juno, do you know what this means?
That you should return to the Argos at once?
Yes, I'll head back now. But prepare us to return to Chiron Station. The Astrea could reappear in as little as 15 months from now. We need to prepare for its arrival. If we are in luck, it will still have undetonated torpedo in its hull.
Of course, Doctor. Now please be careful making your way back to the airlock.
Juno, start us.
Multiple impacts. No discernible hull breaches yet. The station appears to have absorbed the brunt of it. Habitat B has...
Forget the station. It's a lost cause.
Understood. Drones are responding. The situation is normalizing, but the vessel still appears highly unstable.
That's not surprising, given what it's been through. Begin scanning immediately. I don't want to lose our chance of finding a torpedo.
Of course, Doctor. Patrol drones are inbound making a pass now. Doctor, we have detected a human life sign.
Survivor?
It appears so. Shall I make contact?
Yes. And do what you can to make this transition easy for them. I'm sure they must be disoriented.
Indeed. I'll use the data we obtained on Luna to formulate an appropriate response.
Good. What about the torpedoes?
I'm still sweeping the wreckage. Nothing as of yet.
We should prioritize the rescue anyway. A survivor from another timeline. But only one. What they must have seen.
Doctor, I've made contact. The survivor is one Captain Rhodes.
That name? Where have I heard?
That was, or rather is, the name of the Kronos II captain.
From when the Astrea first arrived.
Indeed. Her speech patterns are a 99.7% identical match with those from the distress signal we recovered from the Atlas logs. It appears she was not killed in the destruction of the Kronos II after all.
So she's from our past, then?
I believe so, yes.
Then, well, she won't be able to help us. Is Habitat A intact?
It is, yes.
Move her then. Once I finish developing the cure, we can figure out what to do next.
Shall I inform her of...
No, too much to explain, and we don't have time for distractions. She'll be in the dark for a few days at most, but her new surroundings will be an easier pill to swallow when we have a cure in hand.
Understood, Doctor. There also appears to be an operational android with her. Shall I?
Yes, fine. As soon as they're safe, begin the salvage operation. We need one of those torpedoes. Perhaps we can obtain information from the breach of this vessel as well.
Signal relay activated.
Juno, confirm operational procedures for the signal relays.
Once you pull an activation switch, the link timer will reset, giving you 25 seconds to find and pull another one. If you can do so in a timely manner, all the signal relays in a given cluster will successfully re-establish their network and remain active. Linking sequence timed out.
Yeah, bro. It's kind of impossible. Especially when the motherfuckers everywhere.
Archives recovered. I'm quite confident now that with more optimization data, I can significantly improve your multispectral shielding's resistance to radiation.
Oh, stop, motherfucker.
I am curious, Juno. Why is my shielding not already optimized? Neither my shell nor the charging docks are experimental technologies, correct?
That is true. I believe the lack of optimization stems from two related factors. Firstly, there has not been a significant need for such optimization. The current shielding configuration has been more than adequate for typical X3 mission profiles. Secondly, practical testing scenarios for data collection have not presented themselves until quite recently.
You are referring to the Astrea?
Indeed. Only after its arrival, and the Doctor's subsequent attempts at salvage operations in its vicinity, have the docks had sufficient exposure to generate meaningful findings. Fortunately, now that you are using an X3 shell, it's become apparent that those findings can be put to additional use. Analyzing. It appears optimization optimizations were being tested on this cargo drone's maneuvering thrusters. Assuming other drones were testing similar optimizations, scanning their data ports should allow me to reverse engineer the concept and apply it to your own maneuvering thrusters, making them more energy efficient.
Copy that. I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. I'll add a tracker to your data tab. Data stores recovered. Network connectivity restored. This should prove useful in optimizing your multispectral shielding, Jack. Checking data store. Maneuvering thruster optimizations were being tested on this drone too. Excellent.
Like, how the fuck do you know where to go? There's a million blinking lights. See, there's one way the fuck down there. Bruh.
Excellent. Further optimization data recovered. Though, I'm afraid I'll need more to complete the design.
This tramline appears to have been under construction.
Indeed. Records indicate that the adjoining facility was intended to be used for manufacturing, though I am uncertain what specifically they intended to produce there. Scanning archive. Experimental maneuvering thruster optimization found. Not quite enough data to fully replicate it, though.
Hey. I would have known that, I would have held on.
Analyzing. Perfect. As predicted. I now have sufficient data to improve your multispectral shielding, Jack. Please return to the nearest fabricator for installation.
This would have been the main entrance into this facility.
Yes, it would be, if construction were completed. However, data suggests there is only minimal interior infrastructure in place. I don't believe it's worth entering.
Very well. Are there any key portions of the facility I should visit?
Not that I'm able to explicitly pinpoint, no. However, exploring the exterior of the facility is still likely to present some value.
Copy that. I'll see what I can find.
There was some biomass research data in there. Just a small amount, but every bit helps with the cure.
But I needed to reprint. Inoperable? Looks fucking operable. Bruh. Nope. Where the fuck is the next one?
Signal relay activated.
Yeah.
Warning, 10 seconds remaining to complete linking sequence.
Bro, that's not
5,
enough time.
4, 3, 2.
This is stressful.
Jack, you're running out of time.
Bitch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Linking sequence timed out.
Hope you choke. Was that the one I... came from there? Yeah, maybe I should have hit that. That. Didn't I hit that? I thought I did. I thought I went boom. You would need to go boom, boom, boom. Then what the fuck? Ain't no way you could make it from there to there.
Archive recovered. Experimental optimizations present. I'll need more data though.
Copy that.
About to say fuck collecting all of this shit. There's too much. Way too much.
This device mounted on the surface of the asteroid. What purpose does it serve?
It's a thruster, part of the reaction control system for the facility. We use them to maintain orbit, station layout, and structural stress tolerances. Basically, they help keep everything in place.
I figured there had to be something like that set up. No way those thin tram lines are able to keep everything in place on their own.
Indeed, these thrusters are of such importance that they operate on their own independent power supply and network. Even in the event of a catastrophic failure of other systems, they're designed to keep working.
That's cool.
Installation successful. Jack, your multispectral shielding should now be more resistant to radiation. Please note, however, that contact with biomass will still drain it just as rapidly as before.
Understood. Thank you, Juno.
Of course.
This container is damaged. Something clearly went wrong.
Parsing local records now. It appears that the nearby cave was found to hold a small biomass infestation. Because of the location's relative isolation from the rest of the worksite, they were using it to run trials on containment systems, and even to harvest samples for testing. It seems this process resulted in the loss of many X3 shells.
Is it possible any of those shells remain? They may possess useful data.
That is an excellent point. Let us hope your shell fares slightly better than those other units.
You're covering up the charge dock, you son of a bitch.
Charging dock restored. Jack, now that we've completed optimizing your shield's radiation resistance, I'm afraid there's nothing more to be gained from the dock's data.
What's the point of an advanced network of semi-autonomous recharge stations if you can't count on them to calculate impressive optimizations for you?
I believe you are correct, Captain. The distributed computing power of the charging docks could be put to greater use.
Yes. That's precisely what I meant. Go on.
I have tasked the charging docks with developing a means for allowing Jack's shield to self-regenerate. The wealth of empirical data they have collected on recharging should prove invaluable to the process.
Then I presume additional data scans would be of value after all.
Indeed. Please continue scanning any docks you may find. The additional computing power of more active units would be advantageous as well.
Copy that. This appears to be another form of the biomass. It detects my presence, much like the other specimens encountered thus far.
We classify it as a reticulated B biomass organism, but most people just call them webs.
Aside from their namesake membrane, webs can also be recognized by an additional nodule. It should be quite distinct. Oh, and Jack, that distinct nodule I mentioned? Think of it as a sensor. If it detects you, it will stimulate the web's expansion reflex. Just something to keep in mind as you explore the station.
How do you turn it off though, bruh? There's no way I can fucking activate all them sons of time. No motherfucking way. Too many and not enough fucking time. Not possible. No. Definitely too many and not enough fucking time. I ain't fucking with it.
I've located an extension bridge connecting 2 asteroids.
It might still be functional. There should be controls nearby.
This console appears inoperable.
Blueprints suggest a nearby switch may restore its functionality.
This X3 appears to have been running the control console.
It's unclear if the unit was attempting to open the bridge or seal it.
This transformer is no longer supplying power.
Perhaps for the best. It likely contributed to the biomass growth here.
I think I'm gonna get destroyed by turning this on. God. Fuck is that? I don't know what to do with this piece of shit. Okay, bad. Bridge, power to the bridge. And fuck it, do I just pull the sumbitch until it pops? Good. Just pull it until it kills me.
Shields at 95%.
That's stupid. It just makes another one. Ah, you motherfucker. I don't know what to do. Yeah, there's no way to get in here, bro. Fucking Postulio down there is gonna sense me. I don't know if I've faded this one or not. It's not charging my shield. Oh, bitch. Fine.
Maneuvering thruster data control. Not quite enough to reverse engineer the concept, but a good find nonetheless. Data recovered. Network status connected. We're making good progress, Jack.
Where's my motherfucking shield? Ah. Seriously? These fuckers are everywhere.
Dock online. The archives in this unit have been added to the dataset as well. This dock is now part of the computational array.
I just don't see how that is possible. Be able to hit all of these for a matter of time. Guess I'll attempt it on this piece.
Signal relay activated.
Biomass.
Warning, 10 seconds remaining to complete linking sequence. 5, 4, 3, 2...
Eat a dick. Heck, now where do I go? This ain't
You're
happening.
approaching the biomass research facility. This is where the outbreak originated.
We're sure there's some contained biomass on hand for Jack to retrieve.
Logs indicate 1 or 2 containers should still be in storage. However, reaching them may be difficult due to the entire facility being under lockdown.
The tram entrance will undoubtedly be your only way in.
Acknowledged.
Linking sequence timed out. Connectivity restored. This dock is now aiding in the development of your regenerative shield, Jack.
And I'm now over trying to fucking do it. The radiation. Ah.
Shields at 95%. Warning, you are now entering an irradiated zone. It is most likely due to warheads and other debris from the Estrella. I've adjusted the coloring of the nearby field markers to reflect the level of radiation. Orange for light intensity, and red for heavy. Please exercise caution. Data recovered. Network status. Connected. We're making good progress, Jack.
Are the cargo drones performing work out here?
Not by any directive I sent. Their active radiation dampeners suggest the drones are functioning properly. but their flight patterns are somewhat unusual at the moment.
Perhaps I can use them to explore the irradiated area.
Judging from this data, it seems the cargo drones here are stuck in some kind of loop, though I'm not clear as to why. Analyzing. This drone was also testing the thruster optimizations.
It would appear nearly every drone was.
Indeed. Unfortunately, we still don't have enough data to fully replicate the optimizations, but we now have a sufficient volume of information to develop an incremental improvement. I've already added it to the installation queue. Please return to the nearest fabricator.
Copy that. Thank you, Juno.
Oh, and should we obtain further data in the meantime, I can still use it in our attempt to fully replicate the optimizations.
Of course.
Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%. Data stores on this drone include the maneuvering thruster optimizations as well. Find more if you can, Jack.
Copy that. This cave appears to be safe from the radiation.
Readings indicate the outbreak did reach this portion of the facility. Caution is advised. Incremental optimizations installed. Your maneuvering thrusters should now be able to sustain thrust for a greater duration before needing to recharge. The power-to-thrust ratio has been improved.
Excellent. Thank you, Juno.
Of course, if you're able to locate additional cargo drones, their data should allow me to complete the optimizations, at which point your maneuvering thrusters would be able to operate continuously without any need for recharging.
Understood. I'll see what I can find.
Need.
Austin Kosi, one of our engineers. She has an access code to the nearby cargo drone control hub. I'll mark it for you now. I've also added the code to your ARM computer. Still no clear answer regarding the errant drones, however. Shields at 95%.
I can make it over there. I'm getting my ass blasted.
Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Guess I should have stayed on that one. Radiate. Where are my shields? Guess they're full? Damaged. Guess I'm gonna haul ass. Compared to that. Wasn't very good.
Shields at 95%.
The fucking. It don't matter to me. Hearing a stream. I mean, yeah, I'm free. 3 or so. All right. Yep. Yep.
Now
Oh, no,
entering
the
the
code.
control hub.
A numeric code is required for entry.
I believe Engineer Kosi's code should grant you access.
Ooh, top bitch.
At least a small amount of that data is relevant to the biomass. Thank you, Jack. One moment. Curious. So that explains the drone's abnormal behavior.
You want to enlighten the rest of us there, Juno?
Sometime during the initial outbreak, the control hub's power grid was severed. No longer able to communicate with the hub, the drones simply continued executing the last valid command they received.
Waiting for a reset that never came.
Exactly. There's even a logged message from a few moments before the power outage. I'll pass it to your data tab, Jack. In addition, I've uncovered a cache of data detailing potential methods for removing biomass microparticles from the hulls of the cargo drones. It could prove useful.
To anyone on station at Research Drone Control Hub, I really hope you made it out already. But if you haven't, they're cutting power any minute now. So, if you're able to EVA, get your ass in a suit and hop out on airlock ASAP. We can rendezvous at the construction site. I'll be there and we'll have a shuttle on station for the next hour. Good luck.
There is a wealth of data here. Much of it will be useful for our work on developing a cure. Good find. This drone was also being tested with maneuvering thruster optimizations. Keep searching for more when you can, Jack.
Acknowledged.
I wonder if he's going to deliver this charging dock somewhere. That's going to be useful. Delivers that son of a bitch. I gotta go activate it. Bruh. Should have held on to it. I'm gonna die. Yeah, I know I'm gonna die.
Shields at 50%.
I made it.
This dock is now part of the computational array.
Lower it. Lower it.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Where's that drone? Come here, bruh. Hey. Piece of shit.
Juno, is this a communication device?
Close. It's a long-range sensor suite, an integral part of the station's early warning and collision prevention system. By coordinating data with a small deployment of tug drones and patrol craft, the system ensures that any debris on a collision course with the station is appropriately diverted.
Wish we had that when the Astrea first arrived back home.
It would have made breakthrough difference.
I ain't 100% sure I even got him.
Astrea arriving here far exceeded the system's capacity.
fair enough. Though, wait, does that mean those drones and whatnot were the ships
Yeah,
Jack and
got
I
him.
saw out the window when we first jumped here?
Correct, Captain. Shortly after the Astrea's arrival, the automated fleet reacted. I assumed control of one of the drones to make contact. Dr. Harlan made checking for potential survivors a priority.
Thank you. Both of you.
It was simply the right thing to do.
Fucking with it.
I have discovered some kind of embedded construction site here.
Records show it was part of the research facility's ongoing expansion. Apparently, more laboratory space for further testing of their experimental containment technology. There should be an airlock nearby that may allow you to explore further.
I've located the entrance to the lab, but it's currently lacking power.
I'm detecting equipment nearby that may be worth investigating.
This bypass appears to be channeling power to the local infestation, but I am unable to reach the lever.
Unfortunate. If we find a way to overcome that, returning here may be worthwhile.
Agreed.
Got you. Oh,
Let's see. Moderate store of data, but much of it could prove useful in developing a cure. Good find, Jack.
what objective is that? Oh, you dumbass.
Archive recovered. Experimental optimizations present. I'll need more data, though.
Copy that.
Radiation. That's one I need to grab.
Jack, the only viable way into the research facility will be the tram entrance. Look for a large circular door.
The facility appears to be in fairly poor condition, but there is at least some power flowing.
Due to the generator being restored.
Unfortunately, I'm still unable to access any systems further into the facility. Power flow stops at the entry terminal. It appears that the systems are outright disconnected, including the physical entry bridge. Jack, you'll need to reconnect those systems to gain entry to the facility.
Copy that. Somewhat odd to leave this case empty.
It's fairly straightforward. Our work was never finished.
A scale model of the FTL drive on Dr. Harlan's ship. Was the drive developed here?
Not exactly. While the few FTL drives still in service were refitted here, the original design was actually reverse engineered from the FTL drives left behind aboard the Estrella. That was done by your former employer, in fact.
Wait, Atlas built them?
Indeed. Before the company dissolved, of course.
So Atlas reverse engineered their own technology from the future?
Technically, yes.
Ah, how perfectly normal and not at all confusing.
This appears to be some sort of focusing device. I haven't seen anything like it elsewhere on Chiron Station.
It's actually a prototype of the technology our containment units used to keep Dix pacified.
As in the technology that shorted out while Jack and I were trapped in the engineering bay?
Yes, though that was due to the power cycling abnormally. I assure you, it's usually quite stable.
Yeah, one would hope.
This device looks vaguely similar to the cranes we saw in the transit hub.
Good eye, Jack. That's because it's an early version of the stasis field technology used by those cranes.
Yeah, it looks
as well as our
pretty good.
cargo drones and many other systems.
Did a pretty
As
good
you can
job, but
imagine, the ability to
definitely doesn't
manipulate objects without direct
count to
contact has
Half-Life Alyx.
significant advantages when dealing with the biomass.
come on, let me see it. Ain't there it is.
This bridge is currently disconnected, as part of the lockdown procedures.
Correct. The doors won't open until both sides of the bridge are fully extended.
Did they get everyone out?
According to these logs...
No. Not everyone got out.
It seems someone was emphatic about maintaining the lockdown. I'm guessing the console would have controlled the bridge.
Affirmative. I'm not seeing any backup controls in the blueprints, unfortunately. It's possible the cave contains systems not listed in the schematics. It may be worth a quick investigation.
Yeah.
I believe this is a manual activation switch.
It should restore power to the immediate area, as well as the rest of the research facility. Just keep in mind...
Re-establishing main generator connection. Be advised, Class 3 power fields will become active. Dormancy will be nullified.
Jack, power will soon be returning to the immediate area, as well as the rest of the research facility. Just keep in mind that you'll also be awakening any dormant biomass within.
That's a good point. By restoring power, we're undoing something that was put in place as a die-hard safety precaution.
We're certain this is the only place we're going to find the contained biomass?
Assuming these fragmented station logs are correct? Yes.
Well, that's reassuring.
Finalizing connection.
Connection established. Now receiving power readings throughout the facility. Jack, once you have the bridge fully extended, you should be able to access the facility proper. Though I suspect some areas may have additional security requirements.
Nora, the research director, would have done everything she could to contain the outbreak. But there is no containing it. This was an eventuality.
It's fortunate that your disagreement over priorities led you to be elsewhere when the outbreak occurred.
It's only fortunate if I'm right.
I assume these barriers were set up while construction was taking place?
Correct. Data files show a series of tunnels extending beyond the barriers.
The scale of these excavations seems to far exceed our mining efforts back on the Kronos II.
Absolutely. Though, this excavation was done to leverage the asteroid's bulk as a protective layer against the biomass. Any valuable mineral extractions were merely a byproduct.
Does most of humanity have to live like this? Underground, so to speak?
For several generations now.
I'm sorry. We'll find a cure. We have to.
Juno, are any of the station's X3 units still active?
Not exactly. My records indicate that all X3 neural matrices were transferred off Chiron Station during the evacuation.
Well, despite everything, it's nice that at least the androids made it out.
Good find, Jack. There's a bit of data in there we can apply toward developing a cure for the biomass.
These are auxiliary controls for the extension bridges.
Correct. They should allow you to extend the bridge now that the power is restored.
Bridge extension initiated. Bridge reconnection complete.
I'm heading back to the entry terminal.
Dr. Harlan, if these power readings are accurate, our suspicions appear confirmed.
What's that now? What suspicions?
Educated guess, rather.
Which is different how?
We were concerned that residual power currents may have allowed the biomass to continue spreading for some time after the lockdown.
Okay. And?
Webs have likely taken hold. Caution is advised, Jack.
Acknowledged. I'm crossing into the main facility now.
Copy that, Jack.
Biomass has taken hold here.
Given that it got this far, the rest of the facility will likely be much worse.
Will the fabricator still be operational?
Yes, at least enough that Jack should be able to reboot without issue.
In the security control room, I found a casualty.
According to logs, Adler Reyes.
He must have been trying to keep the scanners running to prevent the biomass from leaving the facility.
But if someone failed the scan...
They would have had to remain behind. Unfortunately, even the scanning room itself became contaminated.
You think that's how it spread to the rest of the station?
Most likely. With background contamination, the system would have had a difficult time producing accurate results. Inevitably, it failed.
Jack, you are now entering the facility's lobby. Biomass containment is located through the leftmost door.
Oh, you idiot. Wrong button.
Another one of the web forms. I still have no way to bypass.
then try the labs. The research they were doing there might prove useful.
Copy that. I'll see what I can find. Electrical systems here are clearly suffering from extreme damage. The lobby's directory is effectively useless.
Good thing we've got someone who knows their way around.
Always happy to be of assistance, Captain.
I was actually talking about Dr. Harlan. But thanks.
There's some kind of added security here.
Dr. Everett Harlan reporting. Authorized laboratory access.
Voice-activated authorization. That's a smart security feature.
Thank you. And you're welcome.
In there either.
There's a switch embedded in the wall here.
An emergency disconnect. Likely utilized as a means to curtail the outbreak.
They really did all they could to try and get the infestation under control.
They knew once it was out, they couldn't stop it. All they could do was buy time for everyone else on the station.
Biological specimens.
The director was always in here. Dissecting, testing. She was tireless.
She must have had a cast iron stomach.
One of the toughest people I have ever known.
What sort of research were they doing here?
The director was convinced the cure was impractical. So she poured everything into containment technology.
Did she have any luck?
When I left, she had everyone working on
Battery's low.
miniaturizing the insulation cloaking from our containment unit. I'm not sure how far they got.
Is this a control interface?
That's right, for the robotic arm in the adjoining chamber. Use the holographic controls to adjust each part of the articulation.
The glass is broken. I'm afraid your former workplace has seen better days, Doctor.
External spread was what breached the chamber.
Seems to me the entire facility became one giant test chamber.
And that too was breached.
Is this some type of emitter?
It looks to be a functional prototype. I knew she... They were close, but I didn't know they had moved into practical testing. The basic concept was to surround the biomass with a cloak of electromagnetic insulation, preventing energy from reaching it.
Kind of like using a blanket to smother a flame.
Indeed. The idea was to build these cloak emitters as a reactive defense against the biomass, to contain it.
I can see a wide range of applications. It's
Just all based, not a solution. I wish she could have seen that.
such versatile technology.
Miss Stay wasn't enough.
I wonder if they moved this prototype into production.
Even if they did, it clearly wasn't enough to stop an outbreak. This is why we need a cure.
This transparent aluminum is reinforced.
Unfortunately, that's still not enough to withstand concerted biomass growth.
These controls are running some sort of automated procedure.
The system is no longer reachable over the network. Cut off by the biomass, no doubt. It must be an old test, abandoned during the outbreak and resumed now that we've restored power.
I assume these microscopes were used to observe the biomass?
I believe so, yes.
Development of the biomass containment technology required research at the macro, micro, and even nanoscopic scales.
With these microscopes, the researchers would have been able to observe the effect of their containment technology in real time, with a more manageable sample size, of course.
It must have been a heavy responsibility to work so closely with live biomass samples.
It was not without its risks.
So, would you say it was more or less risky than intentionally infecting your own FTL drive?
If you have any less precarious solutions, Captain, more yes.
Bruh.
Biomass at the exit neutralized.
It's possible I failed to foresee some of the cloak emitter's eventual implications.
Sounds like your research director was on the right track.
She never gave up. I could hardly ever pull her away from her work.
Dr. Harlan, if I may interject, the local data I'm seeing implies that the director's efforts to develop cloak emitters proceeded beyond prototyping. Portable versions were installed in some of the X3 medtech shells. Several of these shells appear to have been left behind in the medical wing.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
I believe it may be possible to fit Jack with a similar device, a portable cloak emitter.
What is involved?
I'll need you to retrieve the data from one of the medtech shells here. With that, I should be able to reconstruct the portable cloak emitter's design.
Copy that. I'll see what I can find.
Jack, this is the primary examination room, where prototype cures were administered to volunteers. Dr. Harlan, you'll be pleased to know that your old workplace remains unaffected by the outbreak. Dr. Harlan?
That's good to hear, Juno. Thanks.
These medical beds were used for diagnostic scans?
And to monitor potential treatments. Many of my peers focused on post-diagnosis options.
What sort of options?
Pain management, transmission reduction. Though most patients with terminal diagnosis volunteered for cure research.
Wait. There are diagnoses that aren't terminal.
If the infection is limited to the extremities and has not yet penetrated the epidermis, amputation has a roughly 40% success rate.
In emergencies, the integrated cutter, equipped by several models of the X3 shell, including Jack's, can...
No. That's enough. Forget I asked.
A surprising amount of data. Some of it's irrelevant, but a fair bit could help our efforts on a cure. Thanks, Jack.
Of course. I'll need to manually open this door. I assume it was shut down as another precaution?
Most likely. If the medtech shells have data we can use to reconstruct a portable cloak emitter, it will be worth the risk.
I'm entering the medical lab.
Doctor, perhaps you should step away for a moment. I'm sure there's still plenty of output data to test before we're ready to initiate the experiment.
She's here, isn't she? Juno.
More than likely. Yes.
Who? The research director?
I can handle it, Juno.
Are you certain?
I'm not looking away.
Ah, my suspicions were correct. They did develop a portable version of the cloak emitter. Unfortunately, the data contained in this shell is only partial. Jack, to complete the reconstruction, I'll need you to scan additional units.
Understood.
Piece of shit.
We have another casualty. This researcher seems to have been helping the other one.
Dr. Adriana Lay.
She was too young for this.
Oh, God.
Who was this person?
Dr. Franklin Teller, a fellow geneticist. I knew all of them.
They're not a damn scanner thing on her. Oh, there it is.
I've recovered her research. It also seems she received a message from Dr. McKenna with all of his access codes attached. Would you like me to play it?
Affirmative.
Beginning playback.
Hey, Adriana. Well, I know I can count on you to look out for everyone. So I'm sending you my access codes. Should get you into my stuff and a few engineering areas. Spare rations, my playing cards, whatever else. If any of it helps even a little bit, please, take it. Share it. I figure it might make things a little more comfortable for you all.
Trev, prepare for departure.
Shit, I gotta go. I have no idea how to end this. Good luck? No. Goodbye.
End of message. If any of Dr. McKenna's codes prove useful, I'll add them to your ARM computer.
Thank you. A keypad for the duct. Juno, could one of Dr. McKenna's codes work here?
I believe so, yes. Try 2525.
Access to the utility ducts granted. Moving through the vents now.
Tell me something, Doctor. How long does it take
What?
for the infection to run its course?
Once it becomes fully active, usually somewhere between 3 to 5 days. But most victims opt to expedite their end.
Right. So, how does the infection work? Once it becomes active? I mean...
The biomass drains energy directly from your cells. Your body is in the throes of widespread cellular decay. Major organ failure follows 12 to 18 hours later.
Excellent. That shall contain more data regarding the portable emitters. We'll need a good bit more to reconstruct the design, though. We still need more data. Interesting. Doctor, this shell has a log conversation regarding the director and your research.
Go ahead, Juno.
Beginning playback.
Alright, Unit 5, back to the lab. The director wants to run those simulations again.
Very. For what purpose?
I'm not sure. Dr. Harlan's ideas were intriguing, to say the least, but, well, I suppose the director knows best. Go ahead and prep the simulations. I'll join you shortly.
Acknowledge, Dr. McKenna.
Huh. So the director eventually explored your theories after all?
I didn't expect she would continue it after I left. But without the biomasses-based genetic material, it would have been as much of a dead end as containment. I just couldn't convince her.
The fuck?
I found another arm equipped with a cloak emitter, a backup safety measure.
More than likely, but that's the problem. The biomass can't be contained, no matter how many redundancies you put in place.
Wrong button, bro. Oh, fucking killed me.
My reconstruction of the personal cloak emitter is nearly complete. One more scan should be sufficient.
Controls for the nearby cloak emitter. Fortunately, they're still operational. I found another casualty of the biomass.
It appears he was trying to assist right up until the end.
I found another casualty.
Dr. Jordan Deji. She specialized in pain management therapy for the infected. Data collection complete. Finalizing tool reconstruction. Reconstruction complete. Please visit a fabricator to install your new cloak emitter. Cloak emitter installation successful. This portable version is practically identical to the mounted prototypes you've been using thus far.
Excellent. A tool like this will make it much easier to get around.
Just keep in mind that its effective range had to be reduced to achieve portability. If you move too far away from your target, the tool will deactivate.
Ah. Noted.
Bruh.
This data includes a message from the research director, addressed to you, Dr. Harlan.
Wait, Juno.
Perhaps I could store it for a later time once we...
Juno.
Of course, Doctor. Beginning playback.
I don't know if you'll ever find this, but I wanted to get it out before... Well, before things get dangerous. If you do manage to find this, well, then you know what's happened. I suppose the good news is we got the emitter deck to work. Which, if I'm not mistaken, means you owe me dinner. Rabbit, listen to me. I know you're going to try to put all this on yourself somehow. Make yourself believe there was something you'd have done had you been here, but it's not true. You understand? Don't go trying to carry that. We all knew developing a cure was virtually impossible. No one here was waiting to be saved. You're leaving. You're already doing everything you could do to try and stop this. I miss you, Everett. Be safe. I love you. Goodbye.
I'm so sorry, Harlan.
I too am sorry. It's clear you meant a great deal to one another.
She was a good person. She deserved a better resting place than this.
I'm back in the lobby, proceeding to biomass containment. A further casualty of the biomass. In the lobby.
Dr. Brianna Lemmington.
She was one of our pathologists.
Data recovery successful. She apparently died shortly after completing an emergency containment procedure. I'll play back the file.
To engage a Type 3 containment fire break, please follow these steps. First, locate the access panel. To release it, slide it perpendicular to its housing. Please discard the panel safely. Next, grip the emergency disconnect switch. Pull it sharply. Local power systems should deactivate. Lastly, if you have any reason to believe that you are carrying an infection, please refrain from crossing the fire break. Doing so will nullify its effect.
So, she was the one who pulled the emergency disconnect?
There's another voice-activated control panel here.
Additional security for the biomass containment area. It requires the voice authorization of a high-ranking official.
Well, we've got Dr. Harlan, right? Let's get that door open.
My authorization won't be enough. We'll need someone with higher clearance.
The research director.
After a lockdown, she'd be the only one able to enter containment.
With a large enough sample of the director's vocal modulations, I should be able to synthesize her voice.
We've got a log of her final moments. That's not enough?
Unfortunately, no. And inaccurately synthesizing her voice could lock us out permanently. We'll need more vocal data.
Great. We're stuck then.
Pull up my personal archive, Juno. There's just one file there.
You're sure, Dr. Harlan?
Go on.
Beginning playback.
I just... You know I wouldn't leave unless I had...
It's okay. A kill would change everything. You're not wrong about that. I just wish...
I know, Nora. Me too. I won't be long.
That should be enough for me to synthesize the director's voice.
Do it.
This is Dr. Nora Parikh. Authorized containment access.
Juno,
Yes, Doctor?
never do that again.
I'm entering what appears to be an excavation site.
You are correct. It's the only remaining route to the biomass containment area. We should be able to find our sample there.
Acknowledged.
Is this containment area where the outbreak started?
Most likely. I'll continue parsing logs to see if I can determine what happened.
I'm sure that's not necessary.
Do it. I need to know.
Of course, Doctor.
Were these excavators being used to expand the containment area?
I can't be certain, but given the advancements made in insulation cloaking technology, I imagine they would have been trying to ramp up testing or possibly even production. Undoubtedly, that would have required taking in more samples than the facility was currently equipped to contain.
Could that be what caused the accident?
Possibly. If the research team was indeed rushing to complete work on the cloaking tech, then it is possible certain containment systems were overtaxed.
I should have been here.
Then you'd be dead too. And so would we, probably.
I assume these barriers were set up while construction was taking place.
Correct. Data files show a series of tunnels extending beyond the barriers.
The scale of these excavations seems to far exceed our mining efforts back on the Kronos II.
Absolutely. Though, this excavation was done to leverage the asteroid's bulk as a protective layer against the biomass. Any valuable mineral extractions were merely a byproduct.
Does most of humanity have to live like this? Underground, so to speak?
For several generations now.
I'm sorry.
I'm detecting a tick up ahead.
Would my cloak emitter be effective?
I believe so. And the device's range should allow you to cloak the tick before it detects you.
Cloaking successful.
All this advanced tech, and the biomass still broke containment.
Yes. This is why eliminating the biomass is our only option.
Juno, these excavators are automated?
Correct. They would have deactivated automatically as part of the lockdown.
Makes sense. Best to turn off every power source possible.
I'm approaching a large opening. There is a conveyance system installed overhead.
That is how newly arriving containment units were transferred into main storage. Local telemetry indicates a significant biomass presence throughout the area. Containment certainly failed here.
Acknowledged. I will proceed with caution. This container must have lost power at some point. Unfortunately, it appears its contents have escaped. How certain are we that a functional container is still here?
Based on the logs, one stock container arrived shortly before the lockdown.
Hopefully, it remains intact. There is an X3 shell encased in biomass. Shall I scan its data port?
It is likely to possess details about the outbreak.
Then do it.
This large door has been rendered inoperable by the biomass.
As I suspected. It may leads to the main storage area. Any biomass samples in there won't be reachable, if they're even still contained, that is. Data retrieved. I believe the synthetic using this shell was indeed present for the initial containment failure. I'll play the log.
Director Park,
Yes, Unit.
a Category 4 containment breach is in progress.
What?
Origin uncertain. Multiple ticks are unrestrained in the conveyance shaft. I am beginning to lock down.
Have any personnel had direct contact?
Several. I sacrificed my shell to prevent immediate fatality. I'm in the process of reprinting with a portable plug emitter.
Alright, I'll triage the infected in the med labs.
Your SIP telemetry indicates you are not wearing a helmet. To avoid dying,
I'll find one. Just prioritize personnel evacuation, then lock down the entire containment area. Especially main storage.
acknowledged, Doctor.
Nora, why did you...
She did her best. She tried to... No, she did help everyone. I'm sure that without her...
It doesn't matter. Without a cure, none of it matters.
Well, then... we know what we have to do.
Agreed.
I cloaked one of the sensors on this web, but it's not having the same effect as before.
One of? How many sensors does this web have?
At least 4.
Then this web must have been cultivating here for some time. It's possible this is where the outbreak originated.
Unfortunately, Jack, your cloak emitter cannot sustain enough insulation fields to blind all of those sensors.
There must be something else we can do.
Agreed. I'll find a way to retract the web. There is an electrical transformer here. Its power field appears to be keeping all nearby biomass active.
Any chance there's a bypass slip, Doctor?
Effectively? No. That subsystem has been consumed by the biomass.
Lovely.
If you can't cloak the sensors, cloak the power source.
Oh, nicely done, Jack.
That was unexpected. I'll need just a moment to further analyze the reconstructed targeting software. Ah, I see it now. The cloak emitter should be able to target power sources as well, as long as they're sufficiently compatible.
Copy that. Proceeding through the web now. Is this the cargo bay?
Yes, and our containment unit is indeed intact.
I'm still prepping the intake system. Should be ready by the time the container gets here, though. I'm assuming we have what we need.
Readings show a full complement of ticks within. So, yes, Captain, we have what we need.
Is the unit safe to approach?
Yes, the container is fully powered and the insulation fields are active. Those ticks are pacified. I'll send a cargo drone to retrieve it as soon as the bay door is opened.
On it. Does this crane meet the size requirements for the cloak emitter?
Unlikely. However, I suspect it is more useful without insulation anyway.
Collecting these ticks could not have been easy.
The X3 synthetics did lose many shares in the process, but they performed their function.
A power transformer. Much of the nearby biomass is feeding on it. Exterior bay door open.
Copy that. We'll send over a cargo drone to retrieve the container. Shouldn't take too long.
Jack, we'll just need you to manually release the container once the drone has secured it.
Acknowledged. I'll head to the cargo bay. From this side, the web sensor is inaccessible. I won't be leaving that way.
Yes, that is unfortunate. However, schematics do show a maintenance duct nearby.
I'll see what I can find.
Careful, Jack. There's another form of the biomass nearby. You may have seen them before. Elongated structures with an affinity for spore dispersion.
Indeed, cysts. Their rapid regrowth, even after bursting, makes them particularly dangerous. This specimen appears somewhat different than the others I've previously encountered. It has tentacles.
Yes, I believe that particular adaptation manifested somewhat recently. The biomass has been evolving continuously since your time. Regardless, you'll want to keep your distance, if possible. This is the administration area. Once past the next hallway, Jack, you'll be back in the cargo bay.
These controls are offline. Can this door be bypassed?
I'm afraid not. However, as a precaution, this area runs on a localized power grid. If you can find a way to restore that grid, the door should become operable.
A battery, probably for maintaining the local power grid. Unfortunately, this battery lacks power. There must be a recharge socket nearby. Now that this battery has a charge, it is emitting a power field. This web must be sensing the battery's power field.
Indeed. Any substantial power field will awaken all forms of biomass from dormancy.
Shit. Bruh. Bruh. There's no motherfucking... hello? Battery, where'd you go? Shit. Bruh.
The web there won't retract with the power field nearby, Jack. The cloaking technology might come in handy here.
Eat my ass.
Nicely done. Starting to get a feel for that cloak emitter, are we, Jack?
I'm still adapting to its functionality. The device's wide range of uses requires additional consideration.
It's brought us that much closer to a cure. For that alone, we should be grateful.
In this corridor, I found another casualty of the biomass. 2, in fact.
Dr. Stephen Garrick and Senior Technician Avery Park.
Seems they were left behind in the evacuation.
I doubt that. If they're here, it's probably because they chose to stay.
What do you mean?
I knew these people. Every researcher here understood what an outbreak would mean, that they would have to do whatever was necessary to try and protect the rest of the station.
Jack, the cargo drone will be unable to retrieve the container until it's released from the loading pallet. There should be a release mechanism near the container.
Already scanned this one. That's toxic.
A way to release the container?
That is correct. That access panel may be used to free the container from the pallet below.
Container released.
Confirmed. Container primed for departure.
It will need to be hooked up once it gets here, Jack. Care to give it the final touch?
Given that we still need an FTL fuel cell, I'd prefer to leave the hookup to you. As long as you're feeling well enough.
No, I've got it. I can handle things here. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. More of a guideline than a rule, actually.
Thanks.
Container departing in T-minus 10 seconds.
Better stay clear, Jack.
Jack, if you're planning on accompanying the container, now would be a good time to take hold. Cargo drone is departing in 3, 2, 1. Igniting thrusters. Jack, I hope you don't mind. I've switched us to another comms channel for a moment. I have a somewhat personal question to ask you. Do you mind?
I would prefer to stay focused on the task at hand.
Of course. I'll return comms to the public channel.
Not the button I clicked, bitch. I told you to click the other one, but for some reason it fucking tapped the one I didn't want. Go fucking figure. Bro!
Verifying. This drone was also being tested with maneuvering thruster optimizations. Keep searching for more when you can, Jack.
Acknowledged.
Piece of shit. Oh, there's more.
Let's see. Moderate elaborate store of data, but much of it could prove useful in developing a cure. Good find, Jack.
Can't see the thing doing it. And goo eyeball. Bruh. Fuck it. Good Lord, slow down.
Scanning archive. Experimental maneuvering thruster optimization found. Not quite enough data to fully replicate it, though.
Of course it isn't. Why didn't it activate?
Connectivity restored. This dock is now aiding in the development of your regenerative shield, Jack. online. The archives in this unit have been added to the dataset as well. Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Bruh.
The X3 shell is somewhat different from my original specification.
Does that present an issue?
Negative. I was merely noting that the new shell is a substantial upgrade.
Ah, then I'm pleased you are adapting so effortlessly.
The fuck is the status thing? Nice. Data thing is gone. Oh, there it is.
There's a fair bit of data here. It should prove useful in our efforts to develop a cure. Good find, Jack. Jack, you are now entering the auxiliary habitat power station.
The habitat has its own backup power system.
Well, it did, but it's been disabled by biomass infection. Had it not been disabled, the hab would have likely remained powered, and you and the captain would never have left.
Oh, you think so, do you?
The objective doesn't give me one. Nope. Unfreeze, bitch.
This drone appears unpowered. It will require recharging before I can scan it.
Of course it does. Stupid ass drone.
Logs show the drone was patrolling the power station. It seems to possess some key observations with regard to how the biomass consumes various mineral compounds found throughout the facility. Very useful for our understanding of how it reacts to different substances.
I don't think they should have hit me through the motherfucking wall. Alright. Bro. How are we gonna get through there?
This X3 must have been responding to the presence of biomass on the excavator.
Most likely. Visual analysis suggests the shell's data port is still active. Perhaps it has more information to offer. Stand by while I parse the data. Interesting. Somehow the biomass prevented the excavator from automatically shutting down. This X3 unit was tasked with performing a manual shutdown. Doctor, I found another recording as well.
Nora.
Yes. I can archive the message if you'd prefer.
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
Director Park, Habitat A has been vacated. All residents are aboard the evac shuttle.
All right, good. Wait until the shuttle has cleared moorings, then shut down the auxiliary power station. Make sure everything is offline.
Director, please verify last command. With the primary generator already deactivated, you will not get license.
You heard me. As soon as the Habe shuttle is clear, shut everything down, then transfer your protocols to the nearest evac ship. The survivors are your priority now. The rest of us are already dead.
Acknowledged, Director. I will be sure to make special note of your actions in my debriefing.
Just go.
How many people were in Habe during the outbreak?
14, including 6 children.
She bought them time. Probably saved all their lives.
That was her job. Juno, be sure to save that log. Keep it with the others.
Of course, Doctor.
But this battery's pretty dead. I am gonna wrap up here soon, get something to eat. Why are you blinking like that? Time is it? 30.
Maneuvering thruster data retrieved. Not quite enough to reverse engineer the concept, but a good find nonetheless.
There is enough, bitch.
Checking data store. Maneuvering thruster optimizations were being tested on this drone too. Excellent.
This tram rail appears to have suffered a significant kinetic impact and/or shearing force.
The Estrella. When it arrived, it ejected debris into the surrounding area, much of which impacted here. It severed this tram line and pushed Habitat B out of its standard orbit.
Though, at this point, it's for the best. Almost the entire habitat has been consumed by the biomass.
Fucking objective did I just activate?
Data stores on this drone include the maneuvering thruster optimizations as well. Find more if you can, Jack.
Copy that.
There. Thing. How are we gonna do this? Move it? Without it fucking biting me?
Shields
Nope.
at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Off. I guess it's good. idea why they're there. Piece of shit. Bruh.
Nice work, Jack. There's a lot of good data here. It should help in developing a cure significantly. Jack, I'm reading a local ping from a nearby observation drone. Possibly a distress signal. Further inquiry may be warranted.
You gotta inquire me, my fat ass, on where it is. There. Gotta go recharge my damn shields.
Connectivity restored. This dock is now aiding in the development of your regenerative shield, Jack.
This door appears to be sealed.
That is the auxiliary entrance for the station's central cargo intake. It was most likely sealed as a safety protocol.
Juno, where does this tunnel lead?
According to schematics, this should take us back around to the other side of the cargo intake's auxiliary entrance.
Was this drone hiding?
Unfortunately, these units have limited defensive mechanisms. Oh, fascinating. According to the data on this drone, certain mineral formations in this cavern have shown limited resistance to the biomass.
What is the discerning factor?
Unknown, but the construction logs for this area should contain a complete mineral survey. If we could access the logs, we should be able to identify which mineral formations are more resilient to infection.
Where would we find the logs?
In the control room, assuming they weren't consumed, that is. Shields at 50%.
Motherfucking bitch. Oh. No! Get the fuck off me!
Shields at 95%.
Oh my god, dude. The range on these fucking cunts.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Don't be a bitch. You don't be a piece of shit. Work when I fucking tell you to. Hunt. Nice. Fucking. God damn, do what I tell you.
Shields at 95%.
Fucking inaccurate piece of shit. Wait, what? Drone fucked off. What the fuck is your problem, aimbot bitch?
An empty dock. Perhaps there's a workstation nearby.
There's no way of me getting through this.
Shields at 50%.
I'm getting fucking pissed. What up, motherfucker? You get uninstalled.
Shields at 95%.
What's the aimbot?
Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Oh my god. Piece of shit. You eat a dick. Fucking aimbot bitch. Robot's gone.
Shields at 95%.
Bro. I had enough of you.
Shields at 50%.
Oh my motherfucking god. I'm down. I'm over it. Seriously about over it, bro. Bruh. Can't have two at once. No, of course you can't. Hunt. Shit, my ideas.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
I fucking hope you choke on it, fucking ass. I'm over this shit.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
And of course, you don't respawn me where you should have. Here and all. Then.
Shields at 95%.
I made it to the checkpoint. Oh, cool. Broke the game.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 95%. Shields at 95%.
Oh, damn. Need a workstation, bitch. Would you grab that? Bruh. 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 Listen here, you piece of shit. Bruh. Bruh. Are you not a goddamn workstation? Alright. Eat a dick. Piece of shit. I think it's this piece. You piece of shit. Shit. Fuck you.
Stand by while I sift through the logs. Yes, here we are. It would appear mineral formations with a lower carbon content exhibit resistive properties in the presence of biomass.
All that work for fucking nothing. How do we get out? You. Your fucking dumbass head.
Archive recovered. Experimental optimizations present. I'll need more data though.
Copy that.
Of course you do, motherfucker. Only gathered 100 of them. I ain't going in there. Radioactive. Yeah, there's no way to get through that, you dumb motherfucker. Done tried.
Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Piece of shit. Replace battery soon. I don't even know how I paused it. This button? No. Button? No. Who fucking knows? You have a data port, bitch?
Jack, the biomass and transformer near the switch seem to make quite the deadly combination. If you're unable to keep your distance while operating the switch, its usage might not be feasible. This ain't gonna fucking work.
Hmm. God damn it. Oh, I just lost interest. Fuck you. There's no way to do this. Piece of shit. Yep, here's how I feel about you. Bye. Rick. Bruh. I'm about to give up. You ain't gonna get no data. I know my fucking cure. Bro. Fuck you. Where'd my objective go? Get the fuck up there. This by chance save yet? Nope. Fuck. Need to get another save.
Approaching the Estrella now.
Finally, if any fuel cells are still intact, they'd probably be deeper within the wreckage. Unfortunately, everything beyond the bridge is steeped in radiation, and the ship's AI is just making matters worse.
The ship's AI? Do you mean Apollo?
Are you familiar?
Apollo was the ship's tactical AI. He was instrumental in helping us survive our first encounter with the biomass.
I just hope he's still online.
Considering my difficulties exploring here, he must be.
Then if we can make contact with Apollo, he can probably help us find the fuel cell we need.
Guess it's time to say hello to our old friend.
Roger that. Heading to the bridge.
Did you save?
All this scaffolding. Dr. Harlan, were you attempting to repair the bridge?
I was stabilizing it so I could investigate. It would have become a salvage operation had the ship's AI not shut down all my equipment. With my equipment offline, the radiation there has made it impossible to work.
Not to worry, Dr. Harlan. Apollo will listen.
Did not save. Come on, bro.
To us.
A downed cargo drone. Some of your equipment, Dr. Harlan.
Correct. Incapacitated by the ship's AI, best I can tell.
Why would Apollo do that?
He did mention serving as a tactical AI. It's possible Apollo has activated some security measures around his ship.
Isn't that perfect?
Well, I'm sure you can convince him to help us out, Jack. We did before.
A bypass for the door controls, locked behind a keypad.
It was the only way I could gain access. The code is 2126.
I've gained access to the bridge.
I assume you have some type of plan.
Apollo's AI core would be an appropriate place to start. It was vital to his operation here.
Good point, Jack. If it's still intact, could be all we need to strike up a conversation.
You two are rather confident.
Apollo commissioned us as official crew members last time we met.
And we did part on good terms. I'm sure he'll do what he can to help.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Now, did you save? No. Why won't you fucking save?
A casualty from Dr. Harlan's previous investigation.
It was just another shell lying around the station. We were trying to put it to good use.
I thought I could pilot it well enough, but apparently limb control is not my forte.
I'm expecting you'll fare better, Echo One. If this Apollo is indeed the ally you say he is.
These induction panels were essential to my survival on the Estrella. However, they no longer appear to be in an operable state, much like the rest of the ship. A casualty from Dr. Harlan's previous investigation.
It was just another shell lying around the station. We were trying to put it to good use.
I thought I could pilot it well enough, but apparently limb control is not my forte.
I'm expecting you'll fare better, Echo One. If this Apollo is indeed the ally you say he is.
An electrode for the defibrillator.
If you hadn't found that defib unit when you did, I wouldn't be here.
Your safety is my primary concern. I will do everything in my power to prevent you from coming to harm.
I see. So that's why you're so keen on all this time travel nonsense?
Precisely. If your infection is indeed life-threatening, I am compelled to do whatever is necessary to help you find a cure.
If the two of you are finished.
Right. Let's get back to it.
The ship's AI must be present in some form, considering our disabled equipment. Jack, I suggest trying to find a way to bring them online.
We once used this interface to grant Apollo control of the bridge systems. It could still work. The main access point for the bridge systems. With Apollo's AI core plugged in here, we might have a chance of establishing contact. Apollo's AI core?
Oh. Still intact?
Reasonably so, it seems. I'll just need to plug it into the mainframe access slot to be sure.
Why won't you fucking save? You fucking go in the sun, bitch?
Unknown user detected. Bridge access is restricted to crew members only.
Wait, what?
Initializing threat suppression protocol.
Apollo, search your memory for my identifier, Echo 1.
User not found.
Try Jack.
Memory query. Successful. User entry found. Jack. Welcome back to the Estrella. It is good to see you.
Thank you, Apollo. It is good to see you as well.
Is Captain Rhodes with you? And well, I hope.
Cheers, Apollo. We missed you.
Likewise, Captain. Jack, your appearance is altered. I almost did not recognize you. I must apologize for the alarms.
Your reasoning was sound.
What brings you back to the Estrella?
We need an FTL fuel cell, Apollo. But we believe you've been disabling Dr. Harlan's salvaging equipment. We'll need it back online to deal with the radiation here.
Preserving this vessel is my primary directive. The last time jump virtually destroyed it. No further attempts to remove or misuse equipment can be permitted.
Lives depend on it, Apollo.
I understand, Captain, but I cannot allow any further material from this vessel to be compromised.
Apollo, Liv is infected with the biomass, and your directive is protecting this ship's crew and its critical assets.
Forgive me, Jack. I failed to follow your reasoning.
You yourself commissioned Liv, a fellow Atlas employee, as acting captain after the deaths of your original crew. You must remember.
Confirmed, though I had not considered her status in such terms. Captain Rhodes is truly infected.
She needs your help.
Very well. As the Estrella's tactical adjunct, my primary directive is to protect its crew.
So you will help them?
Affirmative. I am hereby available to assist you in obtaining a fuel cell.
Lovely. That's settled.
Apollo, are you able to detect any fuel cells that are still operational?
My sensor network has been severely damaged. However, any functional fuel cells on the Estrella would be in the auxiliary drive bay. It can be seen through the window far ahead of the bridge.
It seems easy enough to reach.
And it would be if this AI hadn't disabled the equipment I set up to counter the radiation.
A temporary security measure. Your equipment is now re-enabled.
You better not have damaged any of it.
Normal operations should resume now. Jack can verify this.
Oh dear. Incoming.
What the hell is that?
A cargo drone. Apparently no longer capable of flight.
Apologies. My anti-theft protocols are quite aggressive.
Fortunately, our salvaging equipment appears to still have working radiation dampeners, meaning Jack should now have a safe route to the drive bay.
That's some good news.
a number of problems remain. Accessing the fuel cells, for one. Doing so will require that I have direct control of the systems within the drive bay. You must bring me along with you.
Are you seriously going to integrate with this rogue AI?
Without Apollo, we wouldn't have lasted this long. We can trust him.
Jack, I'll walk you through the process of downloading my imprint to your cortex.
I'm ready, Apollo.
Simply insert my AI core into the lower receptacle, then use your data link on the override slot. I will do the rest. Disconnecting from mainframe now.
I wished you'd fucking save now. Did not. I want you save, shit.
Download complete. Only one final issue remains, Jack. Your arms are too short.
Too short?
The FTL technology is highly sensitive. Accessing the drive bay and the fuel cells within will require multiple operators.
Good thing there's two of us then.
Unfortunately, the debris field is far too irradiated to accommodate Captain Rhodes.
You're saying Jack's the best chance we've got, but even he won't be enough.
I might be able to help, actually. The cargo drones employ stasis technology, which enables them to manipulate objects at a distance.
Like the stasis projectors we used to levitate the tram back in the hab.
Exactly. I believe I can incorporate the drone stasis deck into your shell, Jack. I'll just need more data from them to be sure.
The drone that just hit the bridge is unlikely to put up much resistance. I'll start there.
Whenever you're ready, Jack.
I'm heading out.
Alright. Please save. Thank you. We're going to wrap up here. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll have more coming your way soon.